Hello friends, how are you doing today? My name is Chevee. Welcome to my shed. I hope your day is fabulous. I hope you're doing great. I hope everything in your world is fantastic. It is another late evening today. I just got home, and not because I had to do some errands or running or whatever it might be, just because I had dinner with friends tonight, and that very rarely happens in my world. But coincidentally, I had one friend contact me the other day and say, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I know he was probing, like, "You want to get together?" And within like minutes, one of our mutual friends started a group chat that was like, "You want to go hang out? You guys available tomorrow for dinner?" And we were like, "Yeah, totally," right? So we all met like right after work. It was 3:30 or something when I got there, and it's now 7:30, and I just got home. I tell you what, catching up with friends is, we've talked, a few months ago, probably in October or so, I met up with this one friend, and I did a show about it and told you about, meeting up with past friends and how important that is to life in general. And so this was the same friend. We met up, three of us this time, and the one friend left early, and so Todd and I hung out pretty much, until 10 minutes ago. And I tell you what, that friendship has meant the world to me so many times in my life. I can't even begin to explain how much that friendship meant to me at certain points in my life. Todd and I have been high school friends to adult friends, and here we are. He's a year younger than me. I think he was a year behind me in school. I don't know when the age difference breaks out, but those friendships, those lasting, everlasting friendships, are so important to life. And I know I said this the last time. I know that if you go back and you find that video, and I'm too lazy to do it for you. Sorry. If you go back and you find that video, you will find that I said something like, reach out to those friends and say hi, and maybe set up the dinner date. Maybe you be the one. And Todd was the one both times to say, hey, can we go get dinner? And maybe I should have retched. I almost just said retched. I mean, I said retched. But before that, I almost used it non-ironically, in a total West Virginia, man, I reached out to him and said, hey, you want to go do something there, buddy? And he said, yeah, let's get her done. And we went ahead and gone down there and got that there Cauli Cessinos down there. They got the pizza rolls. I about said that for real. He reached out to me first, and I should have reached out to him, honestly. Should have said, hey, Todd, can we get together? But I didn't. Even after I gave you the advice of reach out to your friends, I didn't do it. And I think that's a common problem. It becomes so easy to be isolated. It becomes so easy to forget that you have a support structure, to forget that you have friends, to forget that people are out there that you once cared about, and they probably still care about you. And you probably still care about them. But for some reason, over time and distance, you've grown apart. And it's really important to get back in touch with those people and say, hey, you know what? I'm still thinking about you. I still think about you all the time. And it's funny because Todd and I, like I said, we've been friends since high school. And I joined the military. I got out of the military. We were still friends, and he got into the automotive business, and then I was like, I could do that. And so I got into the automotive business because of him. We worked together for a while. And so tonight, the conversation tonight for an hour and a half of that 4-hour block that we spent together was just us talking about these old group of friends that we had back then for years. For years, we had these friends together. And I could tell you more about them, that group of friends that I had from working at a dealership together, from playing poker together. I can tell you more about those people than I could tell you about the Marines that I was friends with. We were almost a fraternity of automotive rejects, right? And I still want to know about those guys. I still want to know where they ended up. I know so many of their stories, and I was like, everybody who gets into that industry has like the dream, like, oh, I'm just here for the temporary, I know this job sucks, but it makes good money, and I'm going to leapfrog into this, and very rarely is there a success case that pulls out of that. Usually people end up just kind of stuck in this grind, and the automotive industry is, at least in West Virginia, is like this high turnover industry, so you just bounce around from dealership to dealership from dealership, trying to find a place to land. And so I'm always curious, like, where did these people end up? And we had a long, wonderful conversation about that. So I just want to reiterate, once again, this is your 3-month reminder. If you have old friends, if there are people in your life, if you go through your phone, if you open your phone up and you go to your contacts, which should be an app in your phone, in Android, I believe it's just called Contacts. If you go to your contacts, depending on the manufacturer, obviously, just start scrolling through the list and go, man, remember when I used to talk to this person all the time? Reach out to them and say, hey, you want to go get a coffee? You want to go get lunch? You want to go do something? And just, even if it's only for 15 minutes, even if it's only for a phone call, just say, hey, you know what? I still think about you all the damn time. And I still think about all the stuff that we did together. And I still think about the mutual friends that we had. And just talk about stuff. It doesn't have to be about life. It doesn't have to be about what's going on in your world right now. It just has to be personal. And who knows? I think we all have friends that will always be our friends, regardless of our current life situations. But I'd like to believe that even the friends that have moved past, that we've grown apart, that we can still share a connection if one of us makes the effort. So go make the effort today. Pick up the phone, find a contact that you haven't talked to in months, and say, hey, I'm still thinking about you, and see what happens. Thank you all for being here, as always. I really appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from Wikipedia. When was the first Simpsons episode made? The half-hour series premiered on December 17th, 1989, with Simpsons roasting on an open fire, a Christmas special. Some Enchanted Evening was the first full-length episode produced, but it did not broadcast until May of 1990 as the last episode of the first season because of animation problems.